I overreacting for wanting my mother-in-law to apologize first?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I feel like a lot of mother-in-laws are loco. Anyway.
A little bit intense. And this is to answer the question of how do you handle a bad mother-in-law? And TossMe255 says, for background, my fiance, 27 male, and I, 27 female, have been together for 10 years and are getting married in September. Okay. His entire family waited about that long, and we were only 16 when we got together. Wow. Yeah, 10 years. I forgot. We're sticking to the classic college, marriage, family plan. His mom, 62 female, has been a unique character since I met her. She's goofy, well-spoken, and easy to talk to most of the time, though a bit more stiff than my family. We've never had any issues and have always gotten along great. I love her, and she's told me they see me as family already, and have for years before we got engaged. It's also notable that she's almost entirely deaf without her hearing aids, and even with them, she doesn't do great.
I feel like that's a really important detail.
Yeah, she's like, just so everyone knows, this is going to come into play later.
Yeah.
We're used to speaking a bit slower and more clearly for her and have no problem repeating things if need be. My fiance has a sister, 20 female, who's in college and not currently looking for a relationship, so she probably won't be planning a wedding for a while. She's 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 20.
Give her time.
How old is OP? 27. Yeah, she's 20. Given how close my mother-in-law and I are, or were, I wanted to include her in my bridal shopping, and we both try to include our parents in what we can. My mom and grandma attended my bridal appointment with me because mother-in-law was sick and didn't want to get grandma ill, texting me the morning of to tell me she would understand if I'd rather she not come because of this. My grandma is in remission after her third battle with breast cancer and is well into her 70s, so I agreed that maybe that would be best. I wound up finding my dress the same day, had a beautiful moment with my mom and grandma. I wished she could have been there.
Sweet.
That's
sweet.
So nice,
that's really
right?
nice. Yeah.
Then later on Facebook, I see she felt well enough to go out to an event with a bunch of friends, and she certainly didn't look ill in any of the photos.
Oh my God, this is why social media messes with all of our heads, y'all.
It's so funny.
Why did you have to post, girl?
Why?
Why'd you have to post? I mean, obviously don't lie, but like don't lie and post.
Yeah. Don't lie and give like proof that you lied.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people who are like older and didn't necessarily grow up with this kind of technology don't always understand that everyone's going to see that. They're like, oh yeah, I'll just post it. That's fine. Just showing it to my friends.
Fine.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Our wedding venue also has decor we can choose from, and they will decorate for us. The owner invited us over to make a timeline for the wedding day and to iron out a few details. Wedding is September 8th, so there's still time for specifics and little things. The issue started before we even went. She was made aware of the appointment well in advance and was very excited to come. I made sure to text her a week before and 3 days before to remind her, as is the standard procedure when making plans with her because she tends to be forgetful. So I'm sitting in the living room playing Baldur's Gate 3, sick, and I can hear my fiance on the phone with her upstairs. We call our moms at least once a week to chat, and he has a tendency to wander around the house when he does. I could hear the conversation he was having just at the top of the stairs, and I overheard her speakerphone tell him his father was coming home on Wednesday, the day of the appointment, and they wanted to watch a shuffleboard competition. Not play, watch. She asked him to ask me to reschedule for another day so she could watch shuffleboard.
Yo, come on now. Come on.
What?
Shuffleboard, wedding planning. Shuffleboard, wedding planning. You know?
Maybe she just really loves shuffleboard. She's like, this is the shuffleboard. Like, this is the Olympic shuffleboard event.
Yeah.
The top shuffleboarder will be there, and we'll never have that moment again. We won tickets from a radio competition.
I hope that's the case.
And it's in Paris.
Yeah, if that were the case, go ahead, girl.
Go do it.
You know,
do
yeah.
it. He politely told her if she had other plans and couldn't make it, it was all right. She didn't have to come, not in a rude way, and she knew that. No worries there. She insists that she does have to come to the appointment and again asks him to ask me to reschedule. So she feels she has to come, but makes no attempts to prioritize it. I could not believe she had the audacity to ask that everyone move their plans around over a shuffleboard game.
I don't know how people operate that way.
I don't understand.
I really don't.
I don't understand how you can be that entitled.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had any interest in it. This was out of the blue. That'd be so funny if she had never talked about shuffleboard before. And she's like, no, I'm really into it. I've been watching all those TikToks and those Facebook reels, and I love it.
But what even is shuffleboard,
I don't
guys?
know. Isn't it like...
Oh, where you boom, like a big backgammon thing.
Yeah, I think so. And it's like you're trying to like get it close to a thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. I think I've played it before.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting thing.
Sounds like a very active game for someone in their 60s, which is good.
Yeah. And, Dixie Blue Steel says she probably has early stage dementia, which, you know, it could be possible because they talked about her memory issues. Yeah. However, it doesn't seem like she forgot about it. I don't know. Maybe she did.
She just thinks her plans are more important.
Yeah.
Sounds like a narcissist, actually. Yeah.
Mix Moose a lot says it must have been the shuffliest board that ever shuffled. It better have been. It freaking better.
Oh, man.
Oh, you got the stick. Yeah. This is like the thing that you play on cruises.
Wow. That looks fun.
There's always like a shuffle. I've never been on a cruise, but
I've been once.
But I presume there's shuffleboard going on.
There should be.
Yeah. If there's not, there should be. There should be.
There should be.
Because I want to watch it and miss a decorating appointment. Naturally, we each invited our parents to the appointments at the venue. His dad travels for work, so it wound up being his mom and my parents, 47 female and 49 male. Young parents.
Young.
She's 27.
Wow.
That's really young. That's really young.
See, then this kind of tracks, right? Because the way OP said it was like high school, college, marriage, like it seems very like that's what they saw.
Yeah. Which, I mean, 27 is not super, super early, but yeah, it just... Yeah. You're like, ugh.
I'm like, I am so far from marriage. I'm like,
no, I definitely will not be ready to marry at 27, but at least it's not 21.
Right.
Yeah. Cause we do read a lot of stories, and sometimes of course they work out fine and you know, people are very happy, but I cannot imagine myself getting married right now.
Wait, how long do you have to know the person before you get married?
I don't know if there's necessarily a
time.
Hard and fast rule.
Like 6 months?
A little bit longer than that.
A year?
I would say at least a year.
I think at least a year. My thing is also, I think that a person, you should live together.
Yeah.
If again, like prefacing, as long as that's not outside of your religion and stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
But if you're okay with that, I think you should live together.
See how you guys work.
See how it works.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can learn a lot about a person.
Comment how quick you guys got together in the chat.
You guys in the chat. The venue owner, let's call her Jenny, is a fun, easygoing, dorky, laid-back person, and she's great. She's just like me, and we have so much in common. I even joked to my mom that I should just marry Jenny. Do it. I bet you won't. I dare you.
Bet you won't.
But you won't.
What are odds?
We were all sitting around a table making our game plan for the wedding, using tablecloth colors and whatnot. It was all okay with minor hiccups caused by mother-in-law's somewhat choppy social skills, partially due to the fact that only one of her hearing aids was working that day. This meant Jenny had to repeat herself several times, re-explain the same thing immediately afterwards, and we tried to help her and help explain to mother-in-law. She was professional, but she seemed a bit uncomfortable as time went on, and mother-in-law kept low-key trying to make the decisions for us. Okay, that's a little bit difficult of a situation if she's not hearing it.
Yeah.
I think it's less on her this time because she's probably she's probably not hearing it and it's like, oh, well, what if you did this? And I'm like, well, we already talked about that.
Right. Sounds like there might be some tension here that we're not really aware of. You know, like clearly they have a good relationship, it seems.
Yeah.
But there might be some tension.
Yeah, I think that, because if it's just like her hearing doesn't work.
Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah. Jenny kept trying to redirect the conversation and politely remind her that the choices were for my fiance and I to make, implying that we had plenty of time to figure out the specifics and it didn't need to be decided now.
Mm-hmm.
They'll make what we tell them and supply, so there's no need to know yet. Yeah, Miss Jaber says write it down. Get a little whiteboard.
Mm-hmm.
Or get a computer. Mother-in-law got to meet drunk me at a wedding a few months ago, and we talked and had a great time. She showed me a new kind of cocktail and was really pushing to have it at my wedding too. The drink was good, but not my favorite. I really don't think I want it as one of the featured drinks at my wedding, and I politely said no to that suggestion. But she kept bringing it up and pushing about it. I'm not a bridezilla, but honestly, after so many polite shutdowns, I put my foot down and firmly said no. Honestly, I might have even snapped at her. This is the one day where I'm allowed to be selfish. The one day where I don't have to make allowances for mother-in-law like everyone usually does.
Yes.
For once, what I say goes, and I said no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your wedding.
It's your wedding. Later, Jenny asked if we were doing the shoe game, dollar dance, candle lighting, or anything like that. I'm not familiar.
Shuffleboard.
Shuffleboard. The mother-in-law's like, please, shuffleboard.
Okay, that would be fun to have like all these huge games at a wedding. Like, oh.
I want to have games at my wedding.
Right?
That sounds great.
Like a big tic-tac-toe and a big...
You have one of those chessboard things?
Yeah.
You know that part in the wedding where people are taking photos and all the families like, oh, now we have to talk to one another?
Yeah.
I want a comedy set there.
Oh.
I want to get a comedian and they just get after it.
Yeah. Interesting. I actually don't know what I want. I
have no idea, but
I don't know.
I'm thinking about shuffleboard now. Yeah.
I don't know what I want, but I do know I want shuffleboard. Mother-in-law tried to persuade me to do the candle thing. What is the candle thing? But I'm honestly not interested. Again, I politely said I don't think I want to do it. And we did discuss what it usually entails, and it confirmed that neither I nor my fiance really wanted to do it. I said we really want photos like that. We can just do it in nice clothes in the summer, but I don't want to do it on my wedding day. But she kept pushing. I know she meant well, but I turned it down several times before I again firmly said no. I didn't raise my voice, just spoke confidently.
Do you think that she's talked to her fiance about this?
I think she should if she hasn't.
Yeah.
Because I think she needs to express, hey, like your mom is getting a little bit.
Tell mom to back off a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I think that now it's just kind of falling on her. Like she's looking like the a-hole because she's having to shut this mother-in-law down so much.
Shut her down.
Shut her down.
Yeah.
And the fiance looks like he is the middleman.
Yeah.
With all
Yeah.
this.
Oh, you don't have to be so hard.
And on the phone call, mother-in-law was like, can you please ask her to move her stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think he needs to be a little bit more involved in this situation or it's gonna get messy.
I know.
My parents know I have always known what I want and don't want. Honestly, I thought mother-in-law knew too. My mom was proud of me for standing up for myself for once and taking charge. It came to a head when we were discussing what to do with the bar option. We decided to go with the one where we provide the alcohol and choose a few drinks to feature at the reception. She's going to want her.
She wants that special cocktail.
She wants it. Jenny will supply bartenders. As mother-in-law is trying to dominate the convo, she's leaning closer and closer to Jenny, who is getting increasingly uncomfortable. Okay, to be fair, maybe she's leaning closer because she can't hear her.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what my grandparents do. My grandparents are hard of hearing. So they just lean in close.
Yeah.
And I yell at them.
Right.
Not in like a mean way, just like, hey, this is what I'm saying. You can't hear me.
Yeah, this feels like she's just trying to pick something apart because she's annoyed by mom-in-law.
Yeah. Mother-in-law is like trying to, and I think that it is annoying that the mother-in-law is trying to insert herself. But I think a lot of these little things that she's bringing up seem to be more in line with her being hard of hearing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Some of it is her being entitled, and some of it's just being hard of hearing, which is like, give her some slack in some stuff.
I know.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me though.
I want like something to happen.
Yeah.
I want like mom-in-law to just do something wild, you know?
Do something crazy. She never raised her voice, but she kept pressing the issue of wanting/expecting Jenny to have a list of drink suggestions. She did say most people do a vodka, a whiskey, etc., but didn't suggest anything specifically because it isn't her specialty and it's our choice, fiance and I. And she had to repeat, so I think this is Jenny saying this, and she had to repeat this several times, explaining there was plenty of time for us to discuss it, and she tried to move along to the next item, but mother-in-law kept pressing. Dan Digital says mother-in-law needs to insert her hearing aid, not herself. See, now I think this is leaning into she's inserting her like back.
Right.
Yeah. Like before I was like, oh, it's hearing aid, but I think this is back in. Yeah.
She just shouldn't be a part of this.
Yeah. Maybe they should just stop inviting her.
That's the thing. I get inviting to the dress shopping. Like that's really nice having family, I imagine. But like the drinks and the cake tasting and this and those.
I don't think those are always things that, you know, extended family come to anyway.
Yeah.
Like I think sometimes that is just like a partner and you.
Right.
So maybe just saying, hey, we're just gonna do this. We're gonna
you don't even have to tell them.
You don't even tell them.
Don't even tell them.
Don't even tell
them.
Well,
we can't hear it anyways.
Mother-in-law isn't very observant and isn't very good at reading the room. We could all feel the tension rising as Jenny got more and more uncomfortable with mother-in-law showing signs of anxiety. Both my fiance and I tried explaining again and trying to get her to move on from the specific drinks that don't matter yet. Wedding is in September. Finally, Jenny cracked and looked dead at me and said, I'm sorry, this is feeling hostile.
Ooh.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. So in front of mother-in-law, she said that. I feel like you don't call that out.
Yeah, why she said
like
that to OP too. I feel like that's a weird. I think that if you're, I don't know, if you're like a professional person, I don't know if I would.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like there's a way to.
That wasn't the way to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's like you finish that conversation and after the fact, you go to OP and you're like, hey, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
I think moving forward, we need to plan this a bit differently.
Like maybe I don't feel like comfortable being around your mother-in-law. Yeah, I don't know if I would have done that in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Trying to avoid looking at mother-in-law, who immediately got offended, who said, do you feel I'm attacking you? Jenny says, yes, I do. Poor Jenny is visibly shaken as she stands up for herself in as calm a manner as she can. She has anxiety like me, and neither of us were doing well. We made it about a 5 minutes into the appointment. 4 or 5 minutes into the appointment?
Yeah.
For asking you for drink suggestions, mother-in-law proceeds to slam her hands on the table. Okay, that's a little intense.
Yeah.
Echoing very loudly in the barn menu and grabs her coat. I don't deal with stress well and immediately teared up with a double order nausea. Fine, if I'm not wanted, I'll go. And proceeds to stomp out.
Ooh.
Whoa. This is getting so dramatic over some cocktails.
Yeah. Josephine Medolas-Berkey says, no, she is right in calling it out. Yeah, I think how I think it should have been done, I think they should have addressed this way sooner. I think she just shouldn't. I think I agree with you. She shouldn't have been going to the appointments earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, it's not professional to call that out in the moment. And I really think it could have just, I don't know. It's hard though when our emotions get the best of us in the moment. And
if she has anxiety, she's probably she's like, uncomfortable. This is a lot, especially of like the slamming. That was, because I feel like before OP didn't say exactly what was so like, making her Jenny so uncomfortable, but the slamming of hands, I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit split.
Maybe she's just trying to get lit at the party.
Like, I just want good cocktails.
Bring a flask.
Courtney Brady says, wait, what is the relationship of Jenny and OP? I missed the beginning. Jenny is the, she seems like she's the decorator.
Yeah.
They just get along really well.
Like the planner. Yeah.
Which, so that's the only reason, just because I worked in like service, obviously don't treat people disrespectfully. But I think that as someone who worked in it, you just kind of have
to put up with it,
dude. You have to put up with a lot.
You do.
Which is not fair.
You go and cry in the kitchen and then you come back.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that Radish says it's perfectly professional if you feel your client is being hostile. I think it depends. I think it depends on what she was doing, because the slamming the hands would be a lot. And I think at that point I'd be like, no, that's...
At that point I'd be like, hey, I'm done with this conversation.
Yes. I think that's,
Divorce the mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Kick her out of the family.
Yeah. Kick her out.
Emma 1408 says, I think if you're feeling unsafe, it's okay to call it out. Yeah. I think I wasn't as clear before the slamming of the hands.
Yeah, I didn't. It just seemed like she was nosy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if it was just her being like, oh, I want
tequila sunrise.
Yeah, please. And that was the only thing that I'd be like, I don't know if I would call that out. But if it was the same energy of slamming the table and being like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Then I think calling it out is okay.
I want to see what happens. I want to know where fiance comes into
what
play.
Is he doing?
I'm like, where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah. I proceeded to try and fail not to cry, which also sucks because I feel like this is OP's like, you should be happy about this.
Yeah.
You should be enjoying it.
I know.
Which is, again, why I think that the mother-in-law should just not have been invited to these things.
Also, side note.
Yeah.
So many brides that I talk to or bride to be.
Yeah.
It sounds like wedding planning is miserable.
Yeah.
You know?
It sounds really hard.
It sounds really hard and not fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like it shouldn't be that way, right?
Yeah. I think it should be. I mean, I think event planning in general is just really hard, and that's why people try to.
If you have enough money, you pay someone to do it.
To do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a luxury.
Yeah. I think actually I would love to do a poll because I think I'm a little bit split on, do we think that Jenny should have called her out? Because I think I've seen some people in the comments saying she was perfectly right to call her out. And I think after the slamming of the hands, I agree with that.
But before the
Should OP call Jenny out?
No, should Jenny have called the mother-in-law?
And said, this is getting really hostile.
Yeah. Miss Silvertear says, I think Jenny was being very unprofessional and wasn't doing her job correctly. If you are in customer service, these things you need to deal with correctly. Mother-in-law was annoying, but that's her job.
Yeah.
And then Martika Waterman says, yes, monster-in-law should have just left the situation. If OP talked to the fiance about this and he still didn't want to deal with it, then just leave. Yeah. So I think what do we have? We have, yes. So far, everyone's saying, yes, Jenny should call the mother-in-law out. Ooh, that is actually a great point, Titania. Someone should have called mother-in-law out, but not the wedding planner. That I think is a better point. I think someone should have stood up for her sooner.
Yeah.
I think it shouldn't have been on Jenny to call out the mother-in-law.
No.
I think that's a better point. Yeah.
It's so tough because I'm trying to think when someone actually has the strength and confidence to call out like their partner's parents.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
It's hard.
Really, really hard. Yeah. And I definitely had instances in the past where I had to tell someone, hey, that makes me uncomfortable, instead of telling the parent directly.
Absolutely.
It's really hard. So yeah, OP should have been like, hey, you know what? Like, I kind of just want to have this conversation about the cocktails just with Jenny, if that would be okay with you, you know? But that's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
No, it's absolutely really hard. But I think that, I think it's unfair. I guess what I am now realizing is I think that it's unfair that Jenny had to call it out.
The thing is, I don't know if she had to.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're asking, right?
Did she have to?
And who knows if OP and Jenny were talking outside of these conversations.
Yeah.
Maybe Jenny knew how frustrated OP was.
Maybe she
was like,
I'm
you know what? You're doing this to my girl. Stop.
You're done. You're done. Courtney Brady says Jenny should/could have said it better. The way she said it from the way it's written was very awkward, which can make a situation much worse, especially in service. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I think that one way she could have, I think you kind of said it, of like, hey, I think this is, I think we're getting a little bit, like tensions are rising a little bit. Let's take a beat and we can come back and look at these later. Let's look at something else.
I wish I could talk. I wish that my conflict and resolution skills were like that good.
Yeah. Well, mine aren't. I guess I did a little bit of service, so partially I could do it. But
at the restaurant, I was pretty good because I worked in restaurants
But she is on the job, so this isn't even open. I'm saying Jenny could have said that. So if we are saying Jenny should have called it out, I still think maybe there was a way where she could have done it in a little bit of less direct way.
Yeah. Again, going back, what everybody's saying is that, oh, wait, what's that? The wedding planner is there for the bride and groom, not anyone else. If the mother-in-law is stepping on toes, the planner 100% can call it out. Yes, she should have called it out. OP is her client.
Mm-hmm.
That is fair. That is an interesting. Yeah, she's serving.
I've never had a wedding planner, so maybe they do. Maybe they're supposed to handle annoying
one. Yeah, but like she's there for the bride and groom. You're right. Yeah, that's a good point.
That is a good point. Maybe it's like have you seen it, like Say Yes to the Dress, where the people who are
a while ago. Yeah.
I had to watch a lot of those because
it's not about you guys.
Yeah, they would come in and they're like, guys, ladies, it's not about you. This is the bride's day, and you're acting horribly, and they like call them out. So maybe it's that level.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more into Jenny being in the right, but I need more information.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Oh, Jellybus says they can and will be the bad person. I proceeded to try and fail not to cry while Jenny apologized a million times and said she hopes we don't think she was an a-hole. She even said mother-in-law could have been stressed from only having one hearing aid and struggling to keep things straight. Which is
Where's
fair.
the other hearing aid?
I think it wasn't working.
Okay.
I think she had it, but it wasn't functional.
Where is it?
Where is it?
Where is it?
Yeah. Which, again, like that is a frustrating thing to go through.
Yeah.
Jenny still tried to defend mother-in-law and explain her actions. Once I calmed down, the rest of the appointment went smoothly and we actually had a great time. Jenny is like the sister I never had, and my fiance was happy to give her advice. What is the fiance doing?
On what dirt bike?
On what dirt bike to get her 10-year-old?
Has fiance been in this?
Yeah, he's been there the whole time.
If my fiance and I were in a conversation and their parent was acting like that and I'm telling you,
Yeah.
and they didn't say anything, big red flag.
Big red flag.
Big red flag.
Yeah. So red. So red.
So red.
So red, so big.
So big.
The air felt different and so much better once mother-in-law left. Yeah. Maybe this is just the solution. They just shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. Let her play shuffleboard every day.
Shuffleboard.
Every day. Just leave her.
The next day, she called my fiance and asked him to come over so she could talk to him. Just him. According to him, she insists that Jenny overreacted and was the one in the wrong. That the change was sudden and she had no idea things were tense. Everyone else certainly knew it. We kept exchanging looks and trying to move it along. She also told him I hurt her feelings when I shut down all of her suggestions. Just the candle thing and cocktail. And when I told her I don't really care for the drink that much, I didn't realize it meant that much to her. I don't know. I feel like it was pretty obvious that she was obsessed with this drink.
I know. I want to know what drink it was.
She's like, it's so good.
I think if the cocktail was like that good, I would just let her have it.
Yeah, but OP said that she didn't really like it.
Oh,
she was like, it's okay. My mom pointed it out to me later, and I do feel bad for it. I did see it on her face when I put my foot down. I think this was the first time mother-in-law witnessed me take a stand and stick to my guns. I will apologize after she does. Am I wrong for refusing to apologize first / offer an olive branch? And there is an update. Which I think that sometimes... Can we have another poll, Riley? Yep. Can we do... who's the a-hole? OP? You do 3. Mother-in-law or everyone sucks here. Jess M says, also, when it comes to a wedding, as a visitor, your suggestions do not need to be taken at all. This is true. Nay says, this is why I want to just elope and have a party afterwards.
Would be interesting to know who's paying for it.
That's true.
Right.
Because maybe if the mother-in-law or like the fiance's side is paying more, maybe she feels, she's like, oh, I'm entitled to it.
Yeah. Which I don't love.
Yeah, I don't love. But maybe that's her reasoning.
Yeah.
Miss Silvertear says they were both the a-hole. They should not have invited her if they didn't want her input.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all true. This is true. Queen D says no one is an a-hole. Interesting. I think everyone was a little bit of the a-hole to different degrees. That's my thought. But if you disagree with me, you can say.
No. It's like none of them were like terrible.
Yeah.
I think
this is not to the degree
the
of
most a-hole behavior. Maybe Jenny. That's what's coming to mind for me.
I think because mother-in-law. But why?
Slamming the hands, a-hole behavior. Yeah. That was, but I think, she felt attacked, felt like it was 2-on-1.
Yeah.
And was just trying to help, cares a lot. I think that's what happens is that when you're not open and clear about your emotions and people feel blindsided, then they're like, well, what do you mean? You wanted me here. Yeah. No, I think in the end, but do you agree that everyone, or do you think Jenny? Like everyone made mistakes? Everyone made mistakes. I think everyone, everyone made mistakes. Liberally. Yeah. I think it wasn't, it wasn't like end of the world a-hole. I think it was everyone was making mistakes. Just next time, just be real. Just be upfront. Just be upfront. Don't scoot around the bush. And there you go. It's a big bush. And then don't scoot around. What's the phrase?
No, beat around.
Beat around.
Scoot around.
I liked scoot around. Don't scoot around the bush.
Don't scoot around it. But what was I gonna say? I think this is also where more open communication between OP and her fiance.
Agreed.
That's what we were missing.
Yeah. And little Trini Weeb says maybe she shouts because of her bad hearing. That's what I was thinking of.
That's what. Yeah,
which is the only.
She
reason
thought it was a little
first,
tap, not a big.
Yeah. Maybe she was like, "Oh, damn, you don't want me here," and it was actually like, "Ah." Yeah, that's the only reason why I was thinking maybe the mother-in-law just wasn't realizing what she was doing in that situation.
And someone was saying, maybe just mother-in-law is just oblivious, which OP said.
It seems like she doesn't read those social cues. So, yeah, which it can be hard when you're trying to have a conversation with someone who's not, especially with an outside person.
I would say, honestly, though, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I would have just given her the cocktail.
Fine, you can have it.
Name it after her. Name it something cute, make her feel. And then that way, you keep going with the wedding planning. Girl, I gave you the cocktail.
Yeah, you got it.
I gave it to you.
I think that, I don't think OP is necessarily wrong, but I think I also would have done it just because I'm like, I don't even drink. Yeah. I'm like, sure, you can have a cocktail.
Let her have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's get into this little update.
We're scooting around the bush.
We're scooting around the bush. She sent me a birthday card, April, in the mail saying, "I'm sorry for how things went down at the venue. I'm looking forward to a beautiful wedding day, but no actual admission of wrongdoing." Okay, kind of annoying. I'm still mad because I don't want to cause more waves before the wedding since it's in 2 months. But I still wonder, should I agree to have the drink she wanted at my wedding? It's not like it'd be the only drink there, but I question if it should be there at all. I think she should have it, but it's limited.
Yeah, or off menu.
She's like, no, it's there.
It's like a secret thing you have to ask the bartender for.
Exactly. This was about 1 month after the appointment in April. Total silence between us. We've been acting like we're over it and are letting it go for now, as long as she doesn't try to spin what happened or justify her behavior. I told my fiance I'm not going to let that fly and will call her out if she starts it. The appointment was in March and it's been 4 months. Am I dragging this out? I know she didn't actually take responsibility for her actions, but honestly, I'm not sure that'll ever change. If I feature the drink she wanted at the wedding, would that be an olive branch or a bulldozer? Should I let it go? And that is the end of that story.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah. Josephine Madolo Berquist says, now that's kind of an apology. Yeah, would you take that as an apology if you were sent that? I'm sorry of how things went down, or would you expect more?
See, I would want more in person.
I think I would want more in person.
Yeah, because there's more there. Like, she's clearly hurt. She wants to be a part of this. Yeah. It's an apology, but it's not a super direct.
Yeah,
taking accountability.
I agree. I think that because we know from the beginning of the story, OP said that the mother-in-law were close.
Yeah.
So I think I would want that kind of direct, hey, because I think I just prefer apologies that are in person.
I'm sorry for overstepping.
Yeah. I think that would have been a little bit more.
I just really want this freaking cocktail.
I want this drink. You don't understand. It's so good. It's so good. Jan Digital says OP should just let it go. There are more important things for her to focus her time and energy on. Yeah, it's I guess it's like, this is going to be your mother-in-law or
deal with it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, either you have to confront her now or if you're not, then you kind of have to deal with it. Because
And also, I feel like it doesn't sound like, it's one thing if there's a track record of the mother-in-law really meddling in the relationship.
Yeah.
But like you said, they had a good relationship. I think just the wedding planning, like we said, stressful.
Lena Covenant says that's a narcissist apology.
She did have some narcissistic tendencies, it sounded like. So
like she wanted a lot of the wedding to be about herself. So.
Yeah.
And Heliana Bain says sometimes you need to talk it out to understand your fault in the matter. And maybe what OP needs for herself is to go to her mother-in-law and say, hey, I want to talk about this further.
Yeah.
I feel like I deserved a little bit more.
And that's what I was going to say too.
Scary.
We get so caught up in, well, they owe me an apology. I don't, it's like, if you want to talk to someone, talk to someone. Yeah. And if you feel sorry about something, or maybe you don't, but you still, I've apologized so many times when
I do.
I didn't really
I've done
feel
the
like
same.
I did something wrong. But
I have
like,
done the same thing because I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it.
it's not.
It's not worth it because I still, person, if it's my friend or something or a family member,
Yeah.
like I still love them. So you know what? This is not the
No.
end.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make this a big thing.
No.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes.
Yeah. I hope the wedding was fun.
Yeah.
I hope they all just got super drunk and loved
I
loved
hope you
each
had
other
really good
super
cocktails.
hard. Yeah.
I hope there was some shuffleboard going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is the end of that story. And now it's time for another story.
Nice.
For you to read another story.
Let's go. Hopefully this one isn't as sad. Am I the a-hole for getting angry at my mother-in-law for ruining my first-time mom experience? Yeah. How do you deal with a bad mother-in-law? So Material Active 5775 says, not sure if this is am I the a-hole or an off my chest, but yeah, here goes. The backstories. When my mother-in-law had my partner, she wouldn't allow any of her in-laws to meet the baby because my partner's granddad was a violent man when he was drunk. This does not sound like we're off to a good start.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
I'm so sorry. I don't think this one is bad.
Yeah. Let's get some comedy up in here, guys. Fast forward to when she finally allowed them after years. Their Nana became their favorite person. She was a lovely woman. This is important to get an idea of her character. When I found out I was pregnant, there were issues with our housing, so we had to move in with one of our parents. We decided to move into my in-laws because they had always given us space and it seemed like the better option. They were happy to have us and I got on well with my in-laws. Okay, this is great. I gave birth to my first baby on the 13th of May. The birth was a positive one, but I still had minor complications and the healing process was a long one. However, I was discharged that same day because I thought healing at home would be better. I had made it clear I didn't really want any visitors for at least the first week, as private family time means a lot to me. However, since my in-laws would be meeting her when we got home, I thought I would get all the visits done within the first week so I could relax from there on. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just allow people to pop by when they were free, and then I could have the second week to relax and spend time with my baby. The day I arrived back with my baby, my mother-in-law came straight to the door and wanted to hold her. Of course, I could see her excitement and gave her my baby. She then said to the baby, "Are you coming with grandma to meet my friends next Monday?"
What? She just brought her home.
She just brought her home. And
That's a fresh baby.
That's a fresh baby.
Fresh out of the womb.
Oh my gosh, grandma. Come on. Calm down, grandma.
Slow your roll, grandma.
Slow the roller. She was
Stop scooting around the bush, grandma.
She was basically asking if she could take the baby out to meet her friends who she had lunch with once a week. Firstly, baby is breastfed, so no.
Yeah.
Secondly, please give me some time to meet my baby first before you start showing her around like a toy.
Like, look, I got a new baby.
I know. It was all downhill from there. She then got angry because she wanted me to come to watch a rugby match that weekend, 4 days postpartum. Whoa.
4
How
days?
are you asking someone 4 days postpartum to do anything?
They're like shuffleboard.
It's shuffleboard.
Rugby.
That's a pretty
Rugby.
aggressive sport to watch after
Yeah.
you give
Oh my
childbirth.
God. Yeah. Wow.
I've only seen in women's rugby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
All of it is hot, I feel like.
it is.
Big legs.
Yeah, they're so strong.
Yeah.
Australian football,
Oh yeah.
Is that rugby?
it's
well, they have
better than
rugby, and then
rugby.
they have football.
Oh.
Australian football is
Yeah.
They've got both there.
Love it.
Yeah.
so good.
I'm going to go home tonight and watch that. Light some candles. She wanted me to come to watch a rugby match that weekend to show off the baby, but I didn't feel up to it and I didn't really want to go. I went anyway because I'm a people pleaser. And to be honest, I was so hormonal, I thought I was probably being the irrational one.
Like, I want to see people get beat
my
up.
God.
Please.
Oh my gosh. So I did everything she wanted me to do for a long time. I didn't trust my own judgments, knowing how hormonal I was. And when my mother-in-law gave birth, she had to stay in hospital for 10 days and complained that she had to go into
Aldi's on the way back.
Aldi's on the way back.
It's a grocery store.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this is in Australia. I think actually.
Yeah,
Because
definitely
is a
not
pretty
here.
popular chain in Australia.
Yet she expected me to run around after her the day I gave birth. My mother-in-law never offered to help me with anything. Never offered to make me a drink, make me food, etc. Only ever put some of my clothes in the wash when she was putting a big wash in. I'm not gonna help you with anything, but I'm doing some laundry. You want me to throw some of your clothes in? In terms of recovering, again, never cared about how I was doing. And the closest thing she got to caring was asking me if I'd stopped bleeding yet. Wow.
Yikes. This mother-in-law sounds bad.
Yeah, very, very bad. Oh, that's so frustrating. I can't imagine having a kid and then people being on you.
You're like, give me the baby.
Yeah.
Get on me. Hand it over.
Every single week, she asked if she could take the baby to see her friends. The day I gave in and took the baby to meet her friends, the baby was sound asleep in her pram, and she spent the whole time standing over the pram trying to subtly wake her, shouting her name and shaking her hand.
Oh my God, this feels like, you know in Harry Potter in the first movie when Dudley, when he like taps the snake enclosure and he's like, move! You know what I'm talking about?
Like, why would I don't?
Yeah, okay.
Which, it's been a minute, guys. It's been a minute since I've seen that movie, but that is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, it's not a toy. It's a baby. Let it sleep.
That's terrible.
Come on.
Yeah. And Obi says, I didn't want to wake her knowing she would cry to be fed and it would mean her friends wouldn't get to see her at all.
Yeah.
My baby hadn't even met my friends at this point. What?
Yikes.
I'm currently 8 weeks postpartum, and for the full 8 weeks, she's had to hold the baby every single day. She follows me around the house and lingers when I'm trying to spend time with my baby and look after her, especially when baby needs mummy time and comfort from me.
Yeah.
Witching hour is a thing. She's never cleaned a nappy or helped with the difficult parts either. She refuses. See, that, at least I know that if I have kids, my mom will be down to help with all of that.
Yeah.
And to have someone who so wants to be
holding
the baby and
herself and everything except for actually helping you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's like she just sees this as like a doll.
I know.
That she can play with.
Yeah, she refuses. The times I let her hold my baby and baby starts to cry to be fed, she refuses to give her back and walks away from me when I come to get her.
She's like, no.
It's like a mini kidnapping of the baby. Another issue is she always talks to the baby rather than me.
Oh, Lord.
I love that.
Oh, my God.
She shouts the baby's name continuously as well as, "Are you coming to grandma?" until I give the baby to her. If she wants to spend the day with the baby, she'll ask the baby if she's going out with her rather than asking me if we're free. Okay. Can you imagine if someone did this with like your dog?
Yeah. Like, are you gonna let me walk you?
This does not seem, mother-in-law seems a little bit wacky.
Yup.
I get awkward not knowing if I need to reply for the baby or not. I've put boundaries in place that never get respected, and I just feel smothered and constantly on edge around the house.
Just for clarity, so the mother-in-law is currently staying with them?
They're staying with
the mother-in-law.
With the mother-in-law.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Never do that. Worried
if she's not going to help out with the baby. Whoa, wow.
I know. And once again, where is fiance?
Where is he?
We can never find them, guys. Worried she's going to come and start trying to take the baby away if she knows we're there or awake. And I've not been able to enjoy my firstborn. I've also felt unable to be firm and tell her it upsets me as I'm living under her roof. Her behaviors are even worse when my partner isn't around, which tells me she's aware of what she's doing. Okay, that's not good. Again, manipulative and just like...
she's gaslighting her. She's like, I do this. What are you talking about?
Ooh. I've been told I should understand that she's just excited about having a granddaughter. But it's been 8 weeks now, and I still have no space to be with my baby without interruption. It rings alarm bells to me that she refused to let her in-laws meet her babies, and this is how she acts with mine. She even about my partner's Nana because she also wanted to bring her friends to meet the baby, and my mother-in-law wasn't happy about it. This is exactly what she did to me and still continues to do. There's so much more, but it's hard to fit it all into a single post.
Ooh.
I kind of just want some advice. And FYI, my partner is aware of this, and we're trying to buy our own house ASAP. Great. But unfortunately, these things take time.
Okay. So the issue is that they do need to stay with her financially, probably.
Yeah.
Which makes it really difficult.
Yeah. I I've never had a baby, but I can imagine it is just such a stressful and tiring experience. And to have someone on you
at all
like
times.
that.
Yeah. When you're trying to like spend those first
bonding and connecting.
Yeah. Those first weeks bonding.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No. And the question of this is again, how do you deal with a bad mother-in-law? And I think that the fiance, her son, should be more active and saying, hey, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
But I think maybe if this is her behavior, maybe the only solution is they just have to wait until they move out, which sucks.
I know. Move out, but also, yeah, I think Beyonce needs to be like, hey.
Yeah.
You need to back off.
Yeah.
In a nice way.
Yeah.
In a nice way.
I would, if you were maybe just saying like you need to help a little bit more if you want that time.
If you want the baby time.
Yeah. But put into
do the
hours.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Naja says, has he set boundaries? They have not clarified that. It doesn't seem that way. It seems like he knows about her behavior, but yeah. It's tough because they can't, it doesn't seem like they can leave because they're saving up, which sucks.
Yeah.
When you're stuck in that situation. Yeah. Bummer.
Yeah, it's so hard. I have no idea if I'd be like not wanting my mom-in-law to be with the baby or being like, this is exhausting. Take it every second, you know?
Yeah. I guess it's the behavior. It's like, it's not even relieving her of
exactly
that exhaustion or, relieving her of that, everything that she has to do for the baby. It's literally just taking her when it works for
convenient for her.
When it's convenient for her.
Yeah.
Kei Yokimori says the fiance needs to be more stern and throw a fit for his wife if it's not working. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brown Eyed Chick says it sounds like she only acts like that when he's not around, so it's hard to blame him. For sure, but I still think that he could go to her and say, hey, like my wife is a little bit uncomfortable about how, you're interacting with the baby. Yeah. If we could just, stop. I think you could still do that. But that's the end of that story. Snatch that back from you.
Yeah, I feel like that's the wild thing about like a long-term partner marriage is just like if you vibe with their parents or not.
Yeah, it's tough.
You marry the family too.
Yeah,
because
it's tough, especially because usually you don't meet your partner's parents right away.
No.
Wait, when is he expected, or like how long is it in a relationship where you haven't met them in 6 months? That's a problem.
I think it varies.
It depends on where they
live in the same state as you.
I would go like
state.
I would go like 4 to 6 in the 4 to 6 months.
Yeah. If you haven't met them around
range,
Yeah.
But also
depends on the relationship with their parents too.
Yeah. And also some people decide to define relationships on a different timeline. I feel like some people, they'll date for a month and then they're like, we're together. And some people will be like, no, I need at least 6 months of dating.
Yeah.
And then they're why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
No, I agree. I agree.
What's funny?
Nothing.
Tell us about your personal life.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Oh, something's going on, guys.
Continue. I just get really red. We're fine. Anyway, let's read this. What were you saying?
I'm so excited for this. Okay. Yeah. Next story.
Next story. Let's keep going. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my mother-in-law make my toddler call her mama?
What? Wait, call mother-in-law mama.
Mama. Call your grandma mama?
Grandmama.
Mama. And this is again to answer the question of how do you handle a bad mother-in-law? So Pure Ordinary 59 says, I hate to come to Reddit with a personal Marshall issue, but I could use some reassurance that I'm not being wildly unreasonable here. My husband and I have Wait a second. Okay. My husband and I have a 17-month-old son who is our first child and the first grandchild on both sides of the family. My mother-in-law spent a lot of time thinking of her grandmother name and eventually decided on Mama.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It kind of is. I call my mom's mother Nana.
But when they met you, Nana.
I don't know. I don't know if she ever. I know I was too young.
Yeah,
I was a child.
Oh, man.
But I think it is a thing of like, people like call me Grammy.
Yeah,
and we're like,
call me Grammy.
Call me Pop Pop.
I know. I'm gonna come up with something wild.
What's your grandma name? If you have kids,
with JJ.
Young grandma.
Call me little grandma.
Call me little grandma.
This makes me uncomfortable as I am my son's mama. It feels like it's being taken from me, and I don't want to share the title of mama with a grandparent. I've expressed to my husband several times since his mom chose his name that I'm uncomfortable with it. And his response has been unequivocally that I am being unreasonable and I have to get over it.
Are you serious?
What is up with the fiance?
The fiancés need to check themselves.
They need to check themselves before they wreck themselves. Because
for real. Yeah. This is no bueno.
There's the door. Have you seen that? Do you know the TikTok? Because I always reference it and no one knows it. The one that's like, there's the door. And it's like, there's the door, bitch. Yeah.
Oh, for how much I'm on TikTok, I should know that.
Okay,
you can send it to me.
Hopefully someone will know that reference one day.
Oh, man.
To further complicate the issue, our son has a pretty significant speech delay. He's not speaking at all. And his speech therapist mentioned this week that he needs consistency and calling his grandmother mama will be detrimental to his language development. It also further increases the importance of the word mama to me. When he finally says it to me, it will be such an incredible moment that signifies all the long and hard work I put into helping him grow and developing his speech.
A lot of pressure on one word.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna point that out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess even without all of the stuff about the speech development and things, I think I would still be a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, I'm mama.
I'm mama.
I'm mama. You're not mama.
But you know how like couples joke around like, are they going to say mama or papa first, you know, or dada?
And so honestly, maybe the grandma is just, at, more odds.
Yeah.
Improving the
more
odds. Improving the odds of saying mama. Because I think that dad tends to be the word that babies say more often.
Yeah.
Like statistically. So maybe if everyone was called mama.
Yeah.
Even after bringing the speech concern up to my husband, he still thinks I'm unreasonable. And I'm on my own if I want to cause an issue with his mother. At this point, this is the most upsetting part, that I've expressed my feelings repeatedly and he completely dismisses them and doesn't have my back. I want to speak to my mother-in-law about it when I see her in person next, but I'm terrified of potentially blowing up our relationship and being left all on my own as the crazy daughter-in-law without my husband to back me up. These husbands not backing up their...
It's such an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Especially like sons with their moms.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if it were reversed, what that would be like. But I think...
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel like your partner comes first? Like...
In terms of like a partner coming
versus
first or
a parent?
I think the situation.
Yeah.
I feel like you decide who's in the right.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
it's
not the parent, or they're overstepping, or, the partner said something rude. So I think it's situational.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, it's a hard question. Because I think I'm very much like I'm with my partner through thick and thin, but also my parents mean so much to me. So I think it is situational. And if my partner did anything to hurt my parents, I'd be like, sayonara.
Yeah, you're done. Because I also have a very close relationship with my parents.
Yeah.
So it's like situational. Am I crazy here? For reference, his family is not Hispanic or from the southern US or anywhere similar where a grandparent mama is more common / accepted. He called one of his grandparents mama. It must have not bothered my mother-in-law, which is great for her. But obviously we are different people and I have my own feelings on the matter. I also am already in therapy for my people-pleasing tendencies, and we have couples therapy sessions as well.
Oh, wow.
Glad.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. We want to, because he's fallen short.
He is.
Quite frankly.
Yeah.
There is an edit and an update.
Or the edit is basically the update.
Okay. Well, there's 2 updates then.
Really?
Yeah. There's an update.
Oh, well, then
edit.
you can do the edit.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Edit. Thanks for the replies and giving me the courage to have this convo with my mother-in-law. Confrontation is so hard for me, but I'm going to do my best. My relationship with my mother-in-law is otherwise great and I love her a lot. She's not the overbearing type at all, so this is totally out of left field. Yes, she wants it pronounced like regular mama, not mama or mima.
I love mima.
That's a typical grandma name.
Oh, so cute.
I have overheard her babbling to my son and explicitly saying I want him to say my name first.
Ooh.
Yeah. She's bought mama apparel and mama jewelry and other such things that I have thought are clearly meant for new mothers.
Oh no.
Yikes. It's overall wildly inappropriate in my opinion, and I'm so confused where this is coming from. But I will set the boundary that this isn't okay. The larger issue is that this is just another instance in a marriage where I don't feel my feelings are respected. It's exactly what I'm in therapy for, learning to build my confidence and self-esteem and how to stand up for myself. My therapist agrees with me that this is a reasonable boundary, by the way, but I entirely shut down the idea of confronting mother-in-law at the time because I was too scared. I've made a lot of progress since then, though, and feel more ready now. Getting confirmation here that I'm not crazy gives me the last push of confidence I needed, but I'm really sad that my husband doesn't see it this way at all. I want a life partner who is my cheerleader and supporter, who is proud of me for making these changes and setting boundaries for the first time in my life. And it hurts that I don't have. Typing this all out has helped clarify why I feel the way I do, and I'll be talking some more with my husband before the convo with my mother-in-law. I may show him the comments here if I have to. Thank you for confirming I'm not crazy. And there are some comments and an update, but let's pause here.
Yeah. My Lord.
Yeah.
What is up? Can you...
Deadly Cat says, mother-in-law is Delulu, OP stay on guard.
For real.
Very true, very true. Yeah.
This is my worst nightmare is like marrying someone and then realizing you're not on the same page about these things.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is even like, this is even like a smaller, because we were talking about other things where you should be immediately on the same page of like religion, wanting to have kids. But this is such a minute thing of like, what is grandma gonna call herself that might not even think to bring up?
And it's so weird too, because I feel like, don't get me wrong, like I know the grandma or grandparent, grandchild relationship is an important one.
Yeah.
But that's not your kid.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And again, I'm not, they're important, but
it's important, but it shouldn't override the parent-child relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like she's trying to do that. And Sarah Badoff says he liked that she was a pushover, which I think is a good point, because she's saying I would have thought that, my partner would have encouraged me to speak up for myself.
Right.
But it seems like maybe he's expecting her to just take it.
Ugh.
And now that she's standing up for himself, she's trying to like gaslight her a little bit and like, you're crazy.
I would have been like, okay, then you, baby, you call me grandma.
I'm grandma.
Call me Nana.
Call me Nana. Call me Mima.
Oh my God.
Switch it up on her.
Yeah, switch it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suspicious Thought says, whenever I hear these crazy mother-in-law stories, I'm so thankful I have such a wonderful mother-in-law.
I'm happy for you.
Happy for you.
Yeah.
What do you think the ratio is of like terrible mother-in-laws?
Ooh, let's put a poll.
Oh, do you like your mother-in-law or not?
Yeah.
Emery King says, the husband is the problem right now. Even if he disagrees, he is immediately dismissive instead of talking it out. For example, he might not see it as an issue since he called his grandma mama. That is true.
Right.
Maybe, which I still think that he should be supporting his partner.
Yes.
But yeah, maybe he's just like, well, it's tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
you suck, Fancy.
We got
We have an update.
50-50 basically. 55% yes, 45% no.
Sorry for the 45% of you who don't have a good relationship with your
that
mother-in-law.
is so wild to me.
That you want what? Like not having a good
Yeah. But it makes
sucks.
sense. Again, you can't choose.
You can't choose your mother-in-law.
Can't choose.
It's the bummer-in-law. That's what I'll tell you.
Bummer-in-law.
Bummer-in-law.
That was great.
Thank
Give
you.
it up. Bummer-in-law.
Josephine Madolo Berquist, if mother-in-law wanted to be called mama, she could marry her son.
Oh.
Yikes. LOL. Well, it seems like, they have a better relationship than the fiance and OP. So, but let's get into these updates and see if they stood up. OP is able to stand up.
She said she was ready and working on it.
She's working on it.
That's what the therapy's for, girl.
Yeah.
I would like to see the mother-in-law in therapy.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Like, why do you have this want?
But maybe it is that thing where like she really doesn't understand why it would mean something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, which I think that you just have to confront her and be like, sorry, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Comments. Automatic Gazelle 74 says, first, you're not being crazy. The professional speech therapist advised against it. Have you told your mother-in-law what is recommended? Granny is not mama. You are.
Mama.
Mama. She is being unreasonable. You mentioned you are in therapy for people-pleasing tendencies. Time to put some of what you have learned to work.
Yeah.
Time to tell the marriage counselor your husband has no backbone with his mom. So true. T Nanny says, mother-in-laws don't get to choose mama as their name against the mother's wishes. And weak husbands should not be allowed.
No weak husbands here.
Gotta be strong. If he doesn't get his act together and rein her in, she will continue to overstep and he will continue to let her. You're not overreacting. This is the hill I would die on. Stand up for yourself firmly. This is unacceptable. I will not allow it. You fix it or I will, but I have to do it. You won't like how I do it. That commenter was like, here's the script.
Well, yeah.
The problem with people pleasing is everyone gets to be happy except you. No one cares if you light yourself on fire to keep them warm. If your therapist doesn't back you up, find a new one. Damn.
Ooh.
Damn. That commenter is really saying how he feels. Yeah. But there is an update. 5 months later. 6.5 months later. Sorry.
Ooh.
6.5 months
We'll see if
later?
anything changes.
How do you wait that long to confront something?
Well, maybe she might have confronted it and then just forgot that she was writing.
Forgot about us?
Yeah, forgot about
us.
Rude, toxic. July 1st. This is recent. I posted last year about my mother-in-law choosing mama as her grandmother name. How wildly inappropriate I find it, and how my husband thinks I'm overreacting and doesn't have my back. He eventually told her that she needed to choose a new name as I am mama in my son's speech therapy sessions. Finally.
Let's go.
Finally. And their solution is that her name is now Mama Joe. Okay.
Is that a fair compromise? Is it?
Saying something Mama Joe
It's still
Mama.
Okay. I don't think that's a compromise, but okay, whatever.
That's a compromise.
Whatever.
I have overheard her say, I want him to say my name first. I don't want to give up Mama because he's going to say that before any other name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm living in crazy town and I'm going insane. This new name is literally not any different whatsoever, especially considering the justification of why she wants to be Mama so badly. When my toddler finally does say Mama, he's 2, but speech delayed and can't make the M sound yet, it's going to be for me, his mother, and me exclusively. I've given up trying to convince my husband to get on my side, so he's still not helping. I'm going to speak to my mother-in-law directly next time I see her in person, but it's going to be a big blow up, and I'm really upset my husband still cannot see why my feelings are hurt by this. I think more than anything else, this has become a massive marriage issue between us. He has a habit of often invalidating my feelings and telling me I'm overreacting. And to be fair, I am a very sensitive person, but this situation has proven to me that even if I'm being the most reasonable person in the world, he still will consider it overreacting. I'll finally stand up to my mother-in-law myself, but I just wish my husband had my back. And there is an edit and a couple relevant comments to finish this off.
They need a new couples therapist. That's what
they
need.
They do. They need someone who's gonna set this husband straight. Yeah, because he sucks.
He does suck. I think all of these kind of husband fiancés
these fiancés are just
they kind of suck.
You're useless. They're not doing anything.
No.
What are you there for?
What are you there for?
And opening jars.
I can open my own jars, man.
Same.
Put it under hot water.
Let's go.
Yeah, easy.
Just a little bang.
Bang it. You can bang it. There's so many ways. Edit. Sorry. An actual update and an end to the saga. Mama Joe is now Nana.
Let's give it up
Finally.
for Nana.
Nana.
Oh my gosh, that's all I wanted.
Nana.
Not Mama. Not Mama Joe.
Nana.
Nana. Different consonant.
Yeah, it's actually my Nana's birthday was yesterday, but her birthday is July 12th, but it's like Australian birthday. So
math.
It's
Happy
American.
birthday.
It's her American birthday.
Her American birthday.
Yeah. And I called her before my mom did yesterday. Don't mean to brag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
did you call her before Sam?
Yeah.
Favorite.
Yeah.
You're the favorite.
I know. I called her and she was
Good.
like, your mom hasn't even called me yet. I was like,
Love it. Yes. Extra Christmas present.
My husband messaged her saying the speech therapist says she needs to pick a new name. I followed up with a video chat saying that it's not really about the speech therapy. It's about me and how I feel about it.
Yes. Yes.
I think that is what was needed because she was kind of hiding behind.
She was scooting around the bush.
She was scooting around the bush. Scooting around the bush. And you need to beat the bush, quite frankly. I followed up with a video chat saying that it's not really about the speech therapy. It's about me and how I feel about it. And she was totally...
Whoa.
Wow. All it took was communication.
Who would have thought?
What?
Who would have thought?
So problem finally solved. It just took me 2 years to grow a spine.
That's the real problem, girl. Your people-pleasing tendencies are legit.
Yeah. After learning that all it took was just asking her to not do it. Yeah. As far as the comments calling for divorce, blaming me for being in an awful marriage, etc., yes, I'm aware of my massive self-esteem issues. Thank you for lighting a fire under my butt to at least resolve this finally. I'm in a lot of therapy to undo my people-pleasing personality. I'm a major work in progress.
We all are.
So true. We're in marriage therapy to navigate the issues that have come up after 15 years of me sweeping my feelings under the rug. This is hard, but I'm trying my best. And some relevant comments to finish this off. RO489 says, that's crazy. It makes me think you both might be able to unpack how this mom's narcissism impacts how he reacts to you. Does his mom diminish his feelings? OP says, now that you mention it, I'm immediately reminded of the period of time when we lived with my in-laws and the way my mother-in-law spoke to his sister during arguments was nearly verbatim the same way he diminishes my feelings.
I mean, it's learned, the apple doesn't fall very far, and it's wild how the learned behavior from your parents.
We pick up from it. It was a huge light bulb moment for me at the time when I realized he was just copying what was modeled to him, and I've totally forgotten about it until now. I can't think of a single time he's ever had an issue personally with his mom in the 15 years we've been together, but he also never talks about his feelings and keeps everything inside, so that's another problem in and of itself. RO489 says, so he's the golden child, and that's probably a different dynamic to work through. OP says, you may be onto something here. His brother has also recently, as an adult, had arguments with his mother so bad that he went no contact with my in-laws for a bit. And again, that is to answer the question of how do you deal with a bad mother-in-law? And I think the takeaway from this was talk to her.
After 2 years, yeah.
After 2 years, talk
Just
to her.
wait 2 years, feel it out.
Yeah, feel it out.
And then have the conversation.
Boil over and then talk to her.
Yeah.
And there we have it.
There we have it. And also
Honestly,
just like be very careful about who you marry.
Yeah.
You know? Just be
I know this is crazy, but be very careful about who you marry. It's a lifetime commitment.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
We read a lot of
these days.
Yeah.
Rarely.
Occasionally it's a lifetime commitment. Yeah. But Kay Yukamura says OP is making strides and I'm proud of that. Me too, man. Me too.
Very true.
Yeah.